I figured this might interest you right here, okay? Please confiscate guns from flooded homes. So let's just imagine now a flood comes in, floods your town, you're forced to evacuate. See, this happened in Cedar Rapids, Iowa a few years back, okay? The floodwaters reside now, floodwaters are going down. It now comes to the point where you could actually go back home and see what kind of damage you're looking at, what have you, right? And then you couldn't get to your home because military or police are blocking off the town. They're not letting you in, or they're not letting you into your neighborhoods like they did in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Okay? Even though the water's gone, they're not going to let you in. But here's one step worse. This is even one step worse. Because they went into flooded homes. That's right. They went into flooded homes and they took guns. So in other words, while you're evacuated from your home and you're not allowed to be in the area for your own safety, right? These criminals wearing badges, they're going to go in where it's not safe, right? Because it's not safe for you, you know, because you're a little child. You might be 40 years old or 50 years old or 60 years old, but you're still a child. You know, you might be 10 years older than that cop wearing the badge, but you're a child and he's not. Because, see, he has a badge. That makes him an adult. You don't have a badge, so you're a child, okay? Now, okay, I know I'm being sarcastic here, but this is what this really boils down to, okay? So I want you to imagine that, because it's already happened in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And then we have this.
The arrival of more RCMP reinforcements did not elicit a warm welcome. About 50 High River residents came to this checkpoint on the west edge of town Thursday, hoping to get information about when they could return to their flooded homes.
I'm just wondering when we're going to be, like, I think we should be allowed back by now. I want to go and see the damage and see if I can salvage anything.
Every day there's going to be more people standing here, and we're coming through.
Among this crowd, there's lots of talk of running the barricade, and the appearance of a police spike belt only inflamed tensions that have been running high for several days.
We want in our home, that's all we want is back in our home.
We can do more. We can do more there than we can out here.
Residents have been out of their homes for a week now. Police explanations why they can't return are quickly rejected.
What are the dangers on our side? What are the dangers on the northwest side? Not the whole town, our side. We just want to get in. If we let you in and something happens to you,
That's right. If something happens to you, we're responsible if something happens to you, you know. If you go in your home where the water ain't at no more. What did I tell you? See, this female, who's probably only in her 20s, is telling people older than her, like as if she's an adult and they're children. You see how stupid this is?
I know it's changing all the time. They're finding different things wrong, different buildings, different safety issues and stuff like that. Certainly some parts of the town appear to be habitable, but that's just an appearance. There's much more going on within the confines of buildings and stuff like that, within the confines of town.
There's an excuse. Yep, he just reached all the way up his anal. So pull that excuse out.
Walk in with the media right now then.
No, we can't do
that. And then they can film it. You can tell us why that town is not inhabitable. Because I know on this end of town there's houses you could live in tomorrow. So if you're going to do that, you can say all you want, but these people are irate. At least if they see a sign that we're starting to get back into the town, things will change.
On Thursday, police revealed they have seized a significant number of firearms from evacuated homes.
There you go. So while the homes are evacuated, they went into your home without your consent, without your permission. I would think that would be breaking and entering. Yeah, that's right. That should be breaking and entering. If they go into your home in a time like this without your permission, and they go in your home and take anything out of your home, that is thievery. That is called criminal behavior. So now you're looking at criminals with badges.
We have seized a large quantity of firearms simply because they were left by residents in their places, and they are now secure at the detachment.
Right, we seized the guns because they were left in these homes and they were evacuated homes. I mean, you know, these guns could be dangerous. They might float through the air and load themselves. And then you'll see a whole army of guns with no man holding them floating down the street. And they'll be loading themselves and they'll be just floating. And they'll turn and point at people and their triggers will pull themselves, because we know guns are dangerous. You know, because guns have brains of their own. Guns have the ability to float through the air. They have the ability to load themselves. And the ammunition will be floating alongside it in the air. You'll see guns floating through the air with boxes of ammunition floating through the air next to it. You'll see the bullet come out of the box of ammunition and go over to the gun, and you'll see the gun just load itself. Yeah.
That news didn't sit well with an already angry crowd. The confrontation, however, did end peacefully. In High River, Rick Donkers, CalgaryHerald.com.
So there you go. There you go. So if they flood your town, then you can count on when they evacuate you, when the water goes down, just like in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, they'll stand there and pretend that they're adults and they're looking out for your safety and that you're not an adult. Even if you're twice their age, you're not an adult. And they're protecting you by not allowing you to go home, even when the water's gone. Because the building might have damage, okay? The building might have damage and it may not be safe for you. But it was safe enough for them to go into your home without your permission and seize your gun. And then tell you that your guns are in a safe place now. They're being rendered. They're in a safe place now. I mean, the guns need to be locked in behind bars, you know. And it's got to be not just bars. It's got to be a solid wall, because you wouldn't want that gun floating out of there and floating across town loading itself. I mean, we wouldn't want to take the risk that floating guns will be floating around shooting innocent people. Right. Meanwhile, we'll be overseas here in America with guns in our hands, shooting and killing innocent people, huh? So did you catch the lame excuses here? This is nothing but a lame cop-out excuse to seize your guns. This is what happens when you don't stand up for yourselves. This is what happens when you allow other people to be your bosses and you listen to everything they say. This is what happens when people can't let other people be people, because they got to be control freaks. And then you got a world full of cowards that won't do anything about it. So during a crisis, when they evacuate you from your homes, people, you better take your guns with you. You better take anything you want to keep that you don't want them to seize, like your guns. You better take them with you when you evacuate. And if they try to say you can't take your guns while you're evacuating, no. You take your guns, because they don't have a right to tell you that. They don't own the right to tell you that. Okay? But see, you need to stand up for yourselves, but this is the problem. People don't stand up for themselves, and that's why history keeps replaying itself over and over and over again.